Top. Let's go live, shall we? Let's go live. Let's talk about this. Fresh sarcasm, served daily, but we ain't be on some sarcasm. We on some real breaking news history. Check 1, 2. We talking about uh, breaking news, breaking news. Joe Biden. 1, 2, 3. Joe Biden drops out of the race and endorses Kamala Harris. Interesting. Wait for a few seconds, wait for a few minutes. If y'all don't mind, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button when you come on. I want to actually hear from y'all, man. I want to hear from y'all. I want to answer some comments. What do you see? What is the play? What is the play here? What is the play here with this Biden dropping out and endorsing Kamala Harris as instead of all of the people that we saw that they was trying to tap instead of Kamala Harris? What is the play? What do y'all see? I said it earlier. I said it was a feminism wet dream, that they're definitely trying to appeal and stir up the emotional support of women, in particular black women who are the majority Democratic voter bloc among our people. Black women outnumber black men by 2 million, by at least 2 million in America. And they know black men ain't really we don't believe in the political process, especially the presidential political process. We don't believe in voting. And even if we did, so many of us got felonies that, we can't vote, or we don't want to go through the process of expunging whatever just to try to go vote for a system or for people that locked us up in the first place. Biden and Kamala, the crime bill and 3 strikes and whatnot. So what do y'all think, man? Give me some ideas. What do y'all think this play is? We're not gonna go, I'm not gonna read everything because this is not my channel. So I don't want to blow up my bro's channel and get him no strikes or get him, in trouble. But we just seen the deletion attempt. We just seen the discrepancies with this woman director of the Secret Service. This woman director of the Secret Service that allowed this to happen to Trump. And whatever it was, some people say it was staged, that Trump staged it, and other people were saying that, is God is divine, God protected Trump, and it was a real attempt. And there's some questionable stuff about the Secret Service and why certain roofs weren't covered, and how many shooters, how many, archers there were, how many archers there were. Yusuf Arline, salute. Say it's a play of the little hats, huh? A play of the small hats. Mr. Dub, B-Dub 3, a big plot. Yeah, it's all a big plot, but I'm just saying, what is the plot? Whose plot is it? Who's the player? Is it Trump, or is it some deep state opponents of Trump? Right? We have a history of presidents being deleted and presidents being attempted to be deleted, from all the way from Abraham Lincoln to JFK to Ronald Reagan. It's a whole lot of presidents that have been attempted to be deleted. Was that fake? Was that a hoax? Was that staged? When you hear people say that, what exactly do you mean? Did people not really get deleted in the crowd, or did the archer not get deleted? What do y'all mean by that? So not Trump. Biden tapped Kamala Harris. So Biden ain't in his right mind. We know Biden ain't the one running the show. So whoever is running the show tapped forced or had Biden to say that he's dropping out and he's endorsing Kamala Harris. Are y'all familiar with Kamala Harris's position on reparations for for the people that say she is one of? She says she's a black woman. She was in a black HBCU sorority, the AKA sorority. She used to date Montel Williams back in the day. Um, she now is married to a white Jewish, Zionist Jewish man who's a dual citizen of Israel. But do you know her position on reparations for black people? And what she's on record saying, along with what President Joe Biden is on record saying and doing regarding reparations for black people. So where is our women's emotional loyalty going to lie, to fall? Is it going to fall towards their own black people historically, and their own black men which have been destroyed through the institution of slavery and Jim Crow and all of that? Or is she going to lean towards who she married? Because you can tell a lot about a person by who they choose to be their spouse, and if you follow in the natural order of things, if you're a woman, then your husband is your head. You can be the head of the free world, but he's the head of you. So you might have influence over the country, but who has personal influence over you? So indirectly, according to nature, or if you believe in Christianity or whatever, then your husband is really low key running the country through you, if you want to look at it that way. So it's just something to look at now, of where her loyalty has been, and where she proved her loyalty is up until this point, and where her loyalty will be, if she were to become the president. Are they going to put together an all-woman ticket? Are they going to put together a Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, and Hillary Clinton trio ticket? President, vice president, and secretary of state, or whatever Hillary was, or mix it up different kind of ways? Are they going to go all out with this feminism thing? Are they going to go all out with it? Like they went all out with Obama. Obama was the first black president, and he got people out to the polls voting like never before. Broke all kind of records with black males and black women, people that wasn't never interested in voting. But we didn't know he was selected. He was selected before he was elected. Somebody selected him and already had bought and paid for, that. We didn't know it. We just was in our feelings. We was in our emotions. We was in our emotions about it. So we went along with it. But who was the wise behavioral scientist to know to put that together that would stir us up emotionally? So could it be that those same behavioral scientists are who put a production together to stir up our emotions against Trump for so long, when we used to love him? Like Common saying, used to love her. We used to love him. We didn't see no crimes against him, that he had against us. Or if we saw it, we turned the other way, and we still was partying with him and at his hotels and his casinos. But once he became the president, it got emotional, I guess, when it should have been more emotional towards the people that the two people that was actually the president and the vice president, based on the facts, the track record, the history of what they actually did with their policies as politicians and lawmakers against us. They not like us. Girl, I'm out here in these streets. And they not like us. And y'all all went for that. Taraji P. Henson and what's the one that used to be Vivica Fox? Taraji P. Henson and Vivica Fox, two of the greatest pom-pom cheerleaders for Biden and Harris. in the entertainment field and as actresses, and who handpicks them and makes sure they get out front, like during the BET Awards or doing this or doing that, to make sure they get out front so they can influence the independent black boss chicks. Who makes sure to make sure that they're in highly visible positions where black people would be looking and listening? Put hot sauce on their greens, right? Elmatic salute. Oh, I got that too. So tomorrow I gotta send it out to you tomorrow. Um, but yeah, Hillary Clinton got hot sauce on her person, and Charlemagne is like, they're gonna say you pandering to black people, and then she said, "Is it working? Is it working?" Like it's a joke. We're a joke. You can just do anything to us and treat us any kind of way and talk to us any kind of way. Did you see, once you get off it, once I get off this live, go to the video I just posted up on this page, on this Digital Soapbox page before this one. And I'm doing like a little reaction of Kamala Harris and her energy and attitude towards us compared to her energy and attitude towards her husband's people. Oh man, it's cold. It's cold. It's cold. First go, salute, salute. Kid gotta eat, kids gotta eat, man. Salute. So am I lying, man? Or I do want to hear y'all thoughts. So I'm gonna look at the comments. Reg Brown, salute. You said it's all orchestrated. Get ready. What's all orchestrated? So me as a, I don't want to get into religion, but it's Sunday or whatever. So me as a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a Hebrew, I'm all of that. But when I got on my Muslim hat, um, it's all kind of verses in the Quran that say that the devil plans and God plans. The devil has some plays and plans and some stuff that they orchestrate, and God and his people have plans that they have, laid out and orchestrated. But then it says, surely God is the best of planners. So God uses the devil's plans because he can read the devil's minds, like he knows what they're doing. And when I say devils, devils come in all colors, but these particular ones I'm talking about are the architects of our hell, the ones that have conquered the planet, you know, those that you can clearly identify visually, just like they clearly identified us visually for 400 years and did what they did to us. So that's who I'm talking about. But it says, surely the devil plans and God plans, and surely God is the best of planners. And in the book, it replaces the word devil with news, the news people, you know, surely the news plan and God plan. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that's just something to consider. It's all orchestrated. It's all a script. That's what scripture means. You got the devil's script in scripture, what he wrote and what he's trying to play out, and you got the gods and they script or the scripture what's going to be played out. One of them has been written already beforehand, and we just acting it out now. So that's how we know exactly who's going to be who and what's going to be what and what's going to happen. It's not because we some magicians. It's because we study scripture. We study prophecy. We study prophecy, and Minister Farrakhan been true and right and correct 100% of the time. No losses whatsoever. So it only makes sense, just to listen. I'm not saying be subscribe and call yourself this religious person or nothing like that. No, just study whatever the science is that he's been 100% accurate on since you've been alive. You just might want to study that same information so you can be 100% accurate while you're alive and take care, of your children, protect your children and your families. By Seer 41, peace. TLR sounds, peace. Yeah. But what's y'all thoughts though? Like, what do y'all see happening now at this point? What do y'all think is going to happen? Biden taps Harris. Biden taps Harris. Is Harris strong enough to beat Trump? Is Harris uh, familiar with dealing with kings and prime ministers and rulers and presidents of other nations? Is Harris strong enough to deal with Putin or with China or North Korea or India or Afghanistan or the Middle East? Is she strong enough? Is she wise enough? Is she experienced enough? Business is warfare. Prior to, this presidency or whatever, she was a lawyer or a DA or whatever she was. Was she a mega successful business person? Because business is war, business is international, global. Does she have the understanding and the respect and the experience of dealing with international policies and international issues, or disagreeing or negotiating with people from other countries like Trump has? Trump was already an international businessman, already had, top resorts and billionaire resorts and hotels and casinos and whatever else properties in several different continents. Did Kamala Harris have any of that experience? The experience that she has as vice president, she been MIA. She been missing. We ain't even seen her for the last 3.5 years. Why is that? So now she got to pop out like she finna show like Kendrick. She finna show ninjas. She finna pop out and show ninjas what? You ain't showed us nothing up until now. You doing the, you have to pop out now because your boss can't continue to go. Zenith, Central Park 5. What about the Central Park 5? I did a video on this also. Central Park 5 is what? Was Trump a politician at that time? If he thought, and this is my personal observation, if I thought some person of another, whatever, did something to 5 of my, I mean not 5. If I thought 5 people of my opposers, people that enslaved us, if I thought somebody did that to a daughter of mine, 5 of the former descendants of slave masters, sons, whatever, did that to a daughter of mine, then I would absolutely take the same position probably as Trump took if I had the money and the means and the influence, right? Should he have apologized? I don't know. I don't know if he did. I don't know if he didn't. Y'all can pull up the receipts or whatever. But I know Biden and Harris never apologized for what they did as lawmakers to more than 5 black people. Why would you bring that up? Is that a comparison you really want to make with me? Like, you really want to say that justifies what? The Central Park 5 justifies what compared to Biden and Kamala Harris? And how many Central Park 5s times 5,000s times 500,000 that they did like that? Anybody want to keep trying to go with that? Mr. Majestic, Kamala Harris plus Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as a possible Democratic presidential ticket. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. if he decides to come back to the Democratic Party. Yeah, that would be interesting. Me personally, I don't think, because it's too many people like myself that is already aware of John F. Kennedy's position and how Malcolm X was exposing him in the early 60s, calling him a trickster. And Malcolm X was the one who blew the whole Democratic Liberal Party out of the water. He's the one that exposed that and pulled the cover off of that and said that was like the wolf and the fox. And the fox is more deadly. The fox is more dangerous and more successful in getting us little sheep on his plate. the lamb chops, meaning us, is the fox, the Democratic Party. That's what Malcolm said. Now, if you believe Malcolm is your number one greatest, top, most educated leader that was tearing up Harvard scholars and Yale and Princeton scholars, then you might want to ask yourself what was he talking about? This is the same party, the same everything. Everything's going on right now. Malcolm already addressed it on YouTube. You can go on YouTube. So if you're going against Malcolm and you think you know better than Malcolm or whatever, then all right, well I feel you. Carlos, salute, Carlos Cochran. Right, right. The enemy of my enemy is temporarily my friend. The op of my op is temporarily my friend. So is any of these Democrats, and I don't even like to get on that because it ain't even about that. It's Coke and Pepsi. It's the same people. But my people is the one that, like I said, hit me with this lesser of the two evils. Like that's a real thing. Like we have to vote for one of them. Like no, I never voted in my life. I don't have to vote for nobody, and I never did, and I never will. But that don't mean that I can't talk about it. That don't mean I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care about either one of them personally. But like Minister Farrakhan said, you don't think that God is interested in who's the president, who becomes the president, who has that type of sway and influence over his people? You don't think God, if you believe in God since it's Sunday, has his hand on this whole process? And he's not the ultimate decider of who's going to become the president and who ain't? Do we not believe in God? Are we atheists? We only believe in God or claim God when it's convenient for what we want to do. So that's the difference between people like us. We're not politicians. We're spiritualists. We're realists. I actually respect atheists more than I respect religious people, because religious people tend to be unreasonable, unrealistic. They think belief is stronger than knowledge and facts and receipts and data. Belief, feelings, emotions. That's not trustworthy to me. I'm about data and facts. So that's where I'm at with it. Joe Rambo, doesn't matter who's president, it's just to divide the poor. Well, divide the poor already divided. I don't know what you mean to divide the poor. I'm not sure what you mean. We've been divided. Larry Love, she says she is not going to do nothing for our people, and we were towards as far as reparations. She says I don't want to misquote Kamala Harris. She said a black woman was interviewing her, and I just posted up prior to this video. Do you support reparations for black people? She asked her direct. Her first word in response was, listen, let's be clear. Like anybody that starts out their answer with that and you didn't already tell a person the answer. So if she's starting out the first time ever addressing the subject that you asked her with listen, let's be clear. Like, wait, hold on a minute. Listen, I haven't cut you off. That already shows that you on some BS. Listen, I'm interviewing you. What the hell are you talking about? Listen, I'm listening. Now I'm quiet. Do you support reparations for black people? Yes or no? And her answer, after all the little rambling gibberish, the answer was, so I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. So the question was, do you support reparations for black people, Kamala Harris? And her last word was no. No. And her boss clearly said, I'll be damned if I feel responsible for what happened to black people 300 years ago. No, I don't want to ask. Go on the Senate floor, 1993 crime bill, 1994. Joe Biden, Senate, he's doing all this hand moving. I don't want to ask, why they are in this condition, talking about us, that slavery did to us by his society. He said, I don't want to ask. They must be taken off the street. They're out there to challenge my daughters and take on my sons and hit my mother over the head and all this kind of stuff. So lock them up. 3 strikes and you out. These are receipts. These are receipts. Now, if you don't like receipts, and people say that receipts is HATE, people call receipts and truth HATE when they hate. I mean, you know what I said it. When they, if they don't like, if they HATE the truth and receipts, then they're going to call truth and receipts HATE. I don't vote. Brother Cam don't vote. I don't love Trump or Biden, right? But then you have people saying that if you don't vote for me, black man, Charlemagne, if y'all don't vote for me, then you're not black. He got the heart to come say, him and Kamala got the heart to get in black people's face and say all manner of disrespect and all manner of disregard and, inconsideration. And once they get in office, we put them in office and they do nothing for us. Right? No policies, no specific nothing. Do you support reparations for black people? And then I got the back and forth clip of her speaking at AIPAC saying that I commit $38 billion to Israel, to the state of Israel for the next 10 years and more. And I commit this many billions towards your state-of-the-art weaponry and technology, and specifically for Israel, which is a separate state and territory, specifically based on race. Specifically based on race, of people who call themselves the newish people. They say, and you agree, and your husband is one of them. So you know exactly how to do it. You know exactly that it can and should be done because you married a man that's a beneficiary of it, and you a beneficiary of it. That's why you coming in front of that whole AIPAC community and promising them allegiance for their separate state and territory. We've been taking care of them for 76 years. Since 1948, 76 years paying our descendant of slave tax dollars that we shouldn't be getting taxed in the first place, because I thought we was owed 40 acres and a mule, which we never got. But we get taxed, and our tax dollars go to fund Ukraine, Israel, whoever else. They find in billions and billions and trillions for everybody else. But do you support reparations for black people? We didn't even say what a number is. We didn't even say what a dollar amount is. Just do you even support it, period? We can deal with a dollar amount later, because you know how to come up with a specific dollar amount when it comes to Israel. Right? No, I'm not going to say, so just imagine we switch the words up and say, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Israel. No. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit the newish people. No. She didn't say that. She don't get in front of nobody and say that. Why do you say that to us? Sister Ski-Wee girl, sister AKA girl, HBCU girl. Why would you say that? Right. I thought we was the people that fulfilled the 400 years of slavery, being brought overseas to be enslaved and afflicted in a strange land that wasn't our own. I thought that was us. Why are we taking care of that? And we didn't do that. America didn't do that, did we? I thought that was Hitler and the Nazis, the Germans, that did that. Why are we paying for that? Why are we supporting that? Why are we saying that that's our greatest ally, a separate, according to them, that's a separate race that we helped. President Truman in 1945, along with the United Nations, that was run and controlled, of course, by America and Europe, right? Some say the Pope or whatever, but they decided, they got together with the Balfour Declaration. Research all of this. the Balfour Declaration, the Balfour Agreement. 1948, our U.S. president agreed with the UN and some other European leaders. There wasn't no Africans, there wasn't no dark people, and decided that they was going to carve out, they was going to take some land from Palestine, the Palestinians, and carve out the destiny, the biblical promised land for them. Right? It only took them 3 years. This was way back in 1945, right? Took them 3 years. From 1945 is when Truman started and agreed, and they got it done by 1948. They didn't have to say, we need to study, study of reparations and all that stuff that they run on us for the last God knows how long. No, they got that done in 3 years, way back then in 1945, when there was no technology. There was no technology. It was nowhere close to this amount of technology and access to this and access to money and infrastructure and state of the art, machinery or whatever. They got that done back then in only 3 years. They started it in 45, started migrating the first 100,000 or more, German, newish people to Palestine or to Israel in 1948. And since then, it's millions, and they got everything they need over there. Why couldn't why is it so hard to figure out when it comes to black people? When it was easy way back then, and TV was black and white. There was still black and white TV in 1945. Had no cell phones, no none of this. But you knew how to make some calls or whatever and coordinate with other nations or whatever to get those European newish people a separate state and territory of their own that you carved out from somebody else or whatever. And there ain't been no peace there ever since because of that. Not saying who's right or who's wrong or whatever. I'm just saying what America knows how to do for them, that they act like they don't know how to do it for us. And that's your president. That's your vice president. If I'm making sense, can y'all give me a thumbs up? Can y'all give me a like if it makes sense? I'm just a little ghetto black dude, little heterosexual, little LA dude that wear t-shirts and stutter and cuss a little bit. What do I know? I ain't no political scholar. I ain't no politician, right? I shouldn't know none of this. I don't really make sense. Where's my degree? I ain't got nothing on my walls but shadows. It don't make no difference. Am I worth a thumbs up? Am I worth a like? Am I worth a like? Can y'all give me a like? Can y'all like this? This little live? Am I a Trump supporter because I'm laying this out? Because I can expose who you voted for or who others voted for. I can expose Biden and Harris. I can pull out the receipts. I can use what little voice and platform that I got to lay it out. That's what you didn't have the power of data. You didn't have enough information when they emotionally pushed you against the orange man. I don't care about the orange man or the pasty man, but you should have been given the information like this before you voted, before you got your emotions stirred up. Why they didn't make sure they gave you this information like I'm giving it to you? Why is that? Whose agenda really is it? Thank you, Larry Love. What do you see for us in this late end of the prophecy that the Honorable Minister talks about? What do I see for us? Well, it's what I already studied and read. It's not like my opinion. According to the book, famine, pestilence, more plagues, like the thing that Fauci and has something to do with in Wuhan. More of that's going to whip on the Pharaoh to let us go. And that's kind of why I see, I could be wrong, right? I don't know what the Most High's details are, but according to the scripture that I've been studying for decades, it say that Pharaoh was a he, right? Pharaoh was a he. I don't care what feminist ticket that y'all put together, it says Pharaoh was a he. And the 400, that was in power when it was time to let the 400-year slaves go. and certain plagues and certain curses or whatever was hitting his country, was hitting Egypt so bad that, he just said, just go, just take them, because one of those curses of widespread deletion hit his son. Kamala don't have a son. Her husband got a son. You know, if she do get in the pocket or whatever as the president, then we know behind the scenes, personally, privately, her husband is the head. So maybe, it's different ways that you can look at it, but um, we at the end, and I believe that this is going to be the last final presidency for America before this whole thing, hits the fan, and the 400-year descendants of slave prophecy is really an exodus and all that is really going to play out. That's what I think. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm just a big head ex rapper or whatever. What do I know? Brooklyn Capo won. Who voting for Kamala? Who voting for Kamala? Let me see your hand. A whole lot of people. I don't know if you black, Brooklyn Capo, but black women is voting for Kamala. I bet you that. Black women, that's who they targeting. That's who they going for. That's who they appealing to. That's who they stirring up emotionally and gassing up, the pride and the desires, the vain desires, or the ambitions of women. You see that, that's what the climate is right now. I don't need no man, especially not my own men. I'm independent. I'm happy. I'm single. I'm free. I'm a boss. That's the That's the goal. That's the play. That's the play. You know. And I don't want to go into that. If this was my page, I would go into details, but I can't. I might already be kind of talking too much. Ghost Rider 74, I lost my job because of Joe. So good riddance. Um, Terrell V, Casual from Hieroglyphics got a channel based solely on Egypt. Oh, is that right? I'm gonna look into that. Divine Cutmore, Marxist programming. I'm not sure what Marxist mean, Karl Marx, but I don't know. Does that mean communist or socialist or fascist? I don't know. I'm not sure what that word means. Terry Miles, not this black woman, only the boule. I heard that, Terry. I don't know if y'all are religious or spiritual, y'all Christians or y'all Catholics or y'all Hebrews or Muslims, but that plays a part of your spiritual discernment. Your spiritual discernment is going to play a key role in survival for you and your family at this point. Not religious ideology, but your spiritual discernment. Spiritual discernment. You know what I mean? Kids got to eat. I'm an Israelite. That's right. That's what's up. Like I said, I be trying to steer clear of that. I'm all of that. Me as a descendant of slaves, the whole identifying who the real children of Israel are was revealed by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the 30s. So what we got today, we got different groups of black people and that say and indigenous people that say that the Hebrew Israelites, they got that revelation from Elijah Muhammad. He's the one that exposed and revealed that divine revelation of our identity. So even though you hear us saying we Muslims, we're Muslims, but that's the Arabic word. We're Hebrews, which is a Hebrew or Jews or whatever. We're Jews, we're Hebrews, we are the real Christians, we all of that. I believe that if you know anything about religion or them books, especially in Islam, we believe in all the prophets and the one God of all the prophets. We don't make no distinction between none of them. It's other people that deny us, that say, no, I ain't the Muslims is this. Okay, how do you know? Do you know it? If we telling you we believe in Messiah, we believe in one God, we believe in all of the prophets, we believe in the books, the Torah and the Gospel and the Quran, like, so how can you say that you're not what I am when you don't even know what I am? You don't even know what we believe or what we study or nothing. It's just like saying, no, you saying como te llama, like, no, it means what's your name. You saying what's your name? I'm saying como te llama. No, it's como te llama. It was no, like, all right, man. All right, well, just be what's your name? Just be English. You know what I'm saying? You stay right there with the argument that you want to have. I know, and anybody with intelligence know we saying the same thing. Exactly the same thing. So the people of Hebrew didn't necessarily speak the same language as the people of the New Testament or the Bible or the Romans, right? You know how much of the Bible is dealing with Rome. Did Romans speak Hebrew or Aramaic? So if your argument is that, you know, he he ain't called this or his name ain't that, then you childish and you ain't gonna make it anyway. So we know better than that. We're not gonna go. I'm not going back and forth with no child. Um, Karl Marx was a dude who had his own political theory or ideology. Uh, Learn how to operate your master system of thinking, moving. Yeah. Harris may choose Newsom to be her VP. Chill Majors. Yeah, she might. It's no matter who you choose. Do y'all think that whoever she choose, that they got enough support and momentum and experience to beat Trump? Do you think people still believe in politicians and the political way? Or do you think we want to hear more political incorrect, just straight talk, even if we don't like it? That's what people want to hear. We tired of politicians. We have seen what this very last one, I'm like, even up until this day, this very last president, what did this president do that we should be getting emotional supporting him? Why would we, descendants of slaves, ever get emotional unless we got deceived and sold a pipe dream of inclusion that now that you're gonna be able to share in this political power that runs this country, you know what I'm saying? When you just was about to abandon ship, you just was about to secede and pull yourself out of the Democratic Party. I'm talking about these top black women Democrats, because you just was accusing the Democratic Party leaders of ignoring or looking for somebody else other than Kamala Harris, because that's the person that we even voted for you for, because it was Kamala Harris that made us sisterhood, get active and vote and get the orange man out of it. We wasn't voting for Biden. We was voting for Kamala Harris, our sister, Skiwi HBCU sister girl that denied us, that said that she don't support reparations for us and that she married a reparations recipient, but just not one of us, not like us. They're not like us. Yvonne Thompson, Project 25. Somebody tell me what Project 25 is about. And did Project 25 happen already? Like the crime bill and the three strikes law and the past 4 years of Biden's presidency and the past 20 or so years of Kamala Harris DA destroying black males. Like, so are we judging somebody by what they did, or are we prejudging somebody about what is speculated that they're said to gonna do? We have actually 4 years of Trump already. Did he do that? What did he do that was so bad that got y'all, enraged at him more than you should have been enraged at Obama and not Obama too, at Biden and Harris? What did Trump do when he was in office? What wars did we go? Like, what black businesses did he destroy? Like, what happened to the economy? Like, what did he do that was so terrible that we should be this mad at him instead of, at Biden, when we know what he did before he was president, during president, and he can't do much now. But I just want to know. I just been always curious about that. Been trying to figure it out for the last 4 years. Nothing for us is Project 2025. Um, Larry Love, black women got all these official jobs and degrees, and not all of them, but a lot of them come from the HBCU cloth. A lot of them are going to vote for Kamala. It's in their best interest. Is it? She was already you know, the VP. What did she do? Like, I keep putting, if it is it selfish exism? Is it selfish exism on the part of black female college career oriented women? Like, are they just out for self and they don't care about what happens to their sons, to their brothers, to their fathers, to their husbands, to their baby daddies? Like, what are you saying? Um, what experience does she have? I guess you don't need no experience, I guess, but uh, it's just something to consider. That's the political side. I stay on the spiritual prophecy side. I stay on the spiritual side, the side where it's a script, it's a divine script. You got the unholy script, you got the satanic script, and you got the divine script, scripture, writing, the books, Bibles, whatever. So Project 25 and Memoranda 200 and all this stuff that the Satan, that might be their script, but the devil plans and God plans. And surely God is the best of planners. So his script is the one that's going to get uh, acted out. Right. So who is the guide of the hour? Who is y'all's guide? That's what I want to know. Who do y'all look to for guidance in the world and in life? Say when Fauci, was telling us that he didn't have nothing to do with the Wuhan and the whole thing, but it came out that he did. He was funding the Wuhan lab, and gain of function research or whatever, and his own politician, lawmakers, and governors and senators and all of that was grilling him and you know charging him with crimes against humanity. That not us. I wasn't doing that. I'm not a politician, but I saw his own people doing him like that. So once we saw that he was responsible for that, he was involved. I'll say he was involved in that. I'm not going to say he was responsible. He was involved in the Wuhan mess, and then he was involved in the thing that him and your former president or your current president mandated and forced you to put into your body that you have no clue what it was, because we're not virologists, we're not immunologists, epidemiologists, we're not scientists. We just was told and forced to trust the science, which really means trust the scientists that we tell you to obey, right? So when we see what they did, do you still believe that, or do you still trust their words and their judgments? Do you still trust they have your best interests at heart? Do you still trust their plans? Do you still trust that you made the best decision? So who do you trust? Who do you go to for guidance now in this most critical time in the world, in history, in life? Do you go to a ghost, imaginary, feeling God of, of, or is there a flesh and blood leader like there was for the children of Israel in the Bible 400 years after 400 years? Moses and Aaron showed up. Do you have a Moses and Aaron that you can go to for guidance that keeps you out of these tricks and traps and avoids you from falling in these ditches, blind leading the blind? Who is the person that you go to? Who is the person that you look to for guidance, life guidance of biblical proportion? Is it T.D. Jakes? Is it Joel Osteen? Is it your grandfather? Is your grandmother? Who is it on the world global stage that's taking on the enemy that your Bible said was the biggest enemy of Jesus, that played the part in crucifying your Lord if you're a Christian? Who is the people that crucified your Lord? And what man today that represents you, that's from your same nationality, that's the public enemy number one of that group of people? Y'all want to give me an answer? Who do I follow? Who have I been following that has kept me sane, kept me out of the mess, kept me out of the drama, kept me healthy, kept me strong, kept me respected, kept me dignified, right? Would you want a son like, if you was a mother, would you want a son like me? If you're a wife, I mean, would you want a husband like me? If you're a little girl, or would you want a father like me? Who do I follow? Who have I been following? Has that been working out for me? Has it been more successful than, the condition that the majority of our men and boys or whatever is in? I'm just asking questions, because you don't see us panicking, you don't see us wondering, you don't see us, confused about what to do next, or who to vote for, or what not to do, or what not to take. You know what I'm saying? You don't see us doing that. Why? Why is that? Well, don't you want to be that secure, mentally secure? Don't we want security of mind, peace of mind, and security of flesh? Like, don't you want an organized black self-policing army and nation that's holding you to righteous, natural, heterosexual morals and respect and honor and dignity? Like, don't you want that? If not for yourself, don't you want that for your children, your grandchildren, your little nieces and nephews, or whoever you love? Don't you want that for them? You seen that we ain't drunk no Kool-Aid. We ain't like it can't be like a Jim Jones like organization. We would have proven that already. We'd have proven that we, crashed and burned already. But we didn't. We saw our people crashing and burning, taking a different kind of Jim Jones juice, trying everything but this. After all else fails, and it has, and it is, why not try your own? Why not try this? What you got to lose? What you got to lose? Why not try this? Well, I tried it before. Well, why not return to it? So, like Aaliyah said, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try it again. What do you do that you get involved in that you're not going to slip and fall? If it's worth anything, you're going to fall, and you're going to want to fall out and quit. But did Minister Farrakhan do something to you? No. If you fall out and quit, it's somebody else might have did something to you, but they're not him. They're not this information. They're not the teachings, that the divine teachings and guidance. It's somebody that you ran into that you had a issue with. If you ever got into this and left, you didn't find nothing better. You didn't find nothing better. I promise you that. Because it ain't nothing better. To my knowledge. To my knowledge, it is nothing better. There has been nothing better. We've been among our people for 94 years. Malcolm X was your greatest leader. Muhammad Ali was your greatest representative in entertainment and sports. Louis Farrakhan, the greatest leader, Million Man March, 2 million, took on every enemy that we ever had, never lost. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that we produced, that this nation produced, was the top. Nobody could compete, nobody could defeat. And same with people like me. I'm not running for no office or whatever, but in whatever my field is, whether it's music, whether it's parenting or being a husband or podcasting and knowing how to talk and get my point across, even though I'm a ghetto dude that don't got no certificates on my wall. Just like Malcolm. Malcolm didn't have that. He was tearing up all the Harvard scholars, Yale, Princeton, all the Ivy League scholars, all of the journalists, eating them like crackers, like saltine crackers. He didn't have nothing on his wall. So when people say, "So what's your qualifications?" Okay, what was Malcolm's qualification? What was Jesus's qualification? Who gave him his diploma? Who gave Moses his diploma? Who gave Abraham his diploma? His enemies, his former slave masters. Like, just the fact that you would get at your black men and brothers like that already show whose pocket you in. Say you want a strong one, but when a strong one shows up, you say he's I can't even say that word, ABUSE or SIVE. You say he's a this and he's a that, he's toxic masculinity. Like, which one do you want? Which one do you want? Which one is it? So that's what I'm here just representing. We grown. You're gonna do what you're gonna do, but you won't be able to say that you wasn't informed. You won't be able to say that you didn't know better. You know, I'm trying to get y'all to see the play and give you a historic track record of what we've been right. We've been better. We've been more accurate than Nostradamus. All of our predictions and all of our prophecies and all the shots that we've been calling been 100% accurate. Why wouldn't you regain this knowledge so you can have this perfect record also? Don't be envious or ashamed or embarrassed or feel like because we're we plugged in with it. This is your information too. It's not like y'all Muslim think y'all better know you're this is your information. You just rejecting it. You rejecting your own instruction manual, your own access to the same power. I was the biggest opponent of this type of thing. Like I try my hardest to debunk everything before I ever really submitted. But that's all it means: submission, submission. That's just intelligent. If you try to disprove it and debunk it and prove it to be false or a lie, or whatever, and you couldn't, and the more you tried, the more you saw the opposite. Yeah, then I submit. I happily submit. Because it's not that I'm submitting to somebody else. I'm submitting to my own nature, my own knowledge, my own history. Oh, like so we were and are the original people. Oh, so we responsible for all of this. So I don't need to be upset at some other people. I need to just digest who I am and take accountability for who I am and what I chose to do and change and find other people of like minds, which ain't hard to find because it's a whole nation. Don't worry about what the enemies say, or they're the black, Germans or whatever. Like, okay. Well, last I checked, we didn't have no history of putting nobody in no ovens. You know what I'm saying? Or doing no mass deletions or even no minimum deletions. Larry Love, thank you, Larry Love. Hoover issued a directive at a time to stop the rise of a messiah who could unify and electrify the militant blacks. You think it's still in effect? Absolutely. COINTELPRO is absolutely in effect, but they already missed that. They were so busy looking at Martin Luther King, and they thought Elijah Muhammad was too old. They was looking at Kwame Ture. They was looking at different people that they didn't see Louis X. They didn't know Louis X was that man, that Messiah. So they already know that that part is all over with already. The Messiah that did electrify and bring 2 million men to Washington in '95 on a Monday, to which he made a global demonstration of a standing army of black men, then they clearly know, okay, we missed that one, you know. So they know who the Messiah is, and they know who we are. Only ones that don't know is the people that he came to guide, you know, because somebody taught us that we don't follow no man. We shouldn't follow no man. You don't need no guidance. I follow myself. So who gassed us up with that insanity that we shouldn't follow no man? Everything you learn from a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? So what do you mean? That's impossible. That's impossible. You have to follow a man. Everything is a man. You know, and when I say man, that means man and woman, just like the Bible say about Adam. You know, he called their name Adam. He made the male and female and called their name Adam. So when you say man, that just means like mankind. It don't mean male. Man means man and woman. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to get y'all feel of things. You know, do y'all see it as a play, or what do you see the play being? Kamala Harris being tapped by Trump uh, against his will. I ain't gonna say against his will, but he was trying to find everybody else. We've seen it for the last few days. He was trying to find everybody else in the Black sisterhood, Democratic sisterhood, started complaining and accusing the Democratic Party of being acist or acist and exist, because they wouldn't tap they sister girl, they ski-wee sister girl that they voted for Biden for in the first place. And I understand it. That's why I would have voted for Obama. I only would have voted if I would have voted. I would have voted for Obama because he married a real black woman from Chicago. I don't know nothing about his policies. I don't know nothing about nothing. I just judged him by who he chose as his wife, as his spouse. That was enough for me to see his character. You know, I thought so. That shows how faulty my judgment and logic is in picking political candidates. Because to me, you know, Michelle Obama started out as a real one, but they chipped away at her. You know, if that's your husband, then you're gonna automatically start mirroring and reflecting whatever your husband is. So he might have came in the presidency in the beginning of that first term with good intentions or whatever, but by the time it was over with, please. So once you scar your soul like that, then so to that by that same token, we looking at Harris and what she did as a DA, what she did as a lawyer, the positions that she clearly took against her own black males by not marrying one of them. Finally, whatever she was doing in California to black males, and that culminated, you know, into who she chose as her spouse, the head of her life, if she's a Christian or Judaism. Either one of those both recognize the husband as the head of the wife. So you can be the leader of the free world, but according to who you married and who the faith that you claim you believe in, he's your head. He's the boss, not you. He's the boss of you. No matter who you're the boss of, he's the boss of you. That's who you chose. So we supposed to be blind and not taking accountability, you know, take into account who you chose personally. Your personal choice says more than 1,000 words. You know, your picture of who you chose speaks thousands and millions of words. I don't care what come out your mouth, but we seen what come out your mouth regarding us, black people. Do you support reparations for black people? Listen, listen. I asked the question. I'm interviewing you. I'm asking you, so I'm listening. Don't start off telling me, listen, I'm not over talking you. I asked you a specific direct question, and I be quiet. I got quiet, and you told me, listen, um, let's be clear. Like, let's be clear. We never talked about this before. What are you talking about? Listen, let's be clear. Let's be really clear about this. Let's be like, I'm not arguing with you, lady. I'm quiet. I'm trying to see what you're gonna answer. What are you talking about? Listen, let's be real clear. And then she got to doing all this, and I'm like, damn. I guess that's what you learned in HBCU and in the AKAs. They taught you that part, huh? 'Cause they didn't teach you what kind of man to choose. That's what I didn't show. But on that note, man, Timbo Slice. She used to date Montel. Yeah, I mean, I ain't even getting into all of that. Larry Love, listen, that's how the boss come and talk to y'all when he needs y'all to straighten out and let you know the deal, right? Like you talking as though you their authority. You're that black woman's authority. Like, listen, I'm in this position right here. Do you know who I am? Little interviewer girl. Listen, you don't go to them APAC talking to them Israelis like that. You don't be. I would love to see you say something like that to them. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that only gonna benefit Israel. No, no. Let's be clear. Let's be real clear here. She ain't saying nothing like that. Why is that? And she claims you voted for her. You claim her as your sister, and she hitting you like that. Cold business. If y'all appreciate this, if I'm making sense, can y'all hit the thumbs up, the like button, like this, subscribe or share or send it to somebody that you know needs to hear this. I know you got some black women that's super, Kate, super Democrat, super boss chick. Send them this. Send them this. And have a discussion about it. Like you don't gotta agree or disagree or whatever. It's just a good conversation piece. Like we need to start practicing critical thinking. Get out of our feelings. Let's go by the data. Let's go by what actually happened, the actual facts. All right, let's do that. Jay Lombardi, nobody take Kamala seriously. Absolutely false. Absolutely false. I don't know if you black Jay Lombardi, but our sisters take Kamala Harris deadly serious. What are you talking about? What do you mean? She's the vice president. What do you mean? It's comments like that got us in the condition that we in, man. Come on now. All of this is serious. And by us just playing it off, downplaying it or writing it off or whatever, that's why we keep on getting the banana in the tailpipe. It's absolutely serious. Yeah, it's just some thought provoking stuff, though. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna get back on a little later on. I passed the 1 o'clock. I mean, the 1 hour mark. I'm at 107, and that's my number. So I'm gonna see y'all a little later. Give me some comments, man, if y'all don't mind. Give me some comments and let me know what y'all think. All right. Peace in a minute.